This is just a quick intro for the Smoosh nail art video. I did cut out drying time and I did speed up other parts of it just so the video wouldn't be super, super long. The things I sped up are things like painting my nails. I think you guys all know how that goes, or things that I've already shown on a different nail. The drying time really depends on a lot of factors, like what type of polish, even things like humidity and how thick or the temperature of the room. So I don't say how long the drying time was because I don't really keep track of it. I just sort of check on the very end of my nail. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video.
Hi, let's do some nail art. Or actually, let's finish some nail art. So as you can see on this hand, I have some Smoosh art. And I am using Drunk Fairy Haven, which is solar. And then I'm using Hyperlinked and Butler, Please. So on my thumb and pinky is just Haven. And then on these fingers, I have all three, and then I smooshed them, and I think it came out really well. I started to do my other hand in pinks because I'm going to be using Shaidyn, which is the pink solar out of the duo, and I'm going to use Fuel Your Desire, and I'm borrowing Muchi from my daughter. So I started to do this last night, and then I had to stop and do other things. So I undid the nails that got a little bit messed up. The pinky's still fine. So I figured since I'm redoing it, I might as well make a video. So as a base coat, I'm going to be using a DIY Peely base. I'm just reusing an empty bottle. So I cleaned out the bottle and then I filled it halfway with clear Elmer's glue. It doesn't necessarily have to be Elmer's. It could be a generic, just so long as it's the same ingredients as the clear Elmer's. And then the other half I filled with 70% IPA or rubbing alcohol. And 70% is, I think, what you usually find in like the grocery store or drugstores. So it's quite easy to get hold of. And so I'm going to put that on. Oops. And I'm going to try really hard to stay in frame. I'm not used to filming myself doing my dominant hand. This is my right hand, it's my dominant hand. So I'm kind of going backwards from what I'm used to. Okay, we'll let that dry a couple minutes. Okay, now that that's fairly dry, I'm going to put on the base colors. I'm using a blurring base coat. This one is Polished for Days. It's called Soft Focus Lavender Ice. And I'm just using it under the two solar polishes. I don't actually mind visible nail line very much, especially with really light polishes anyway that have a lot of shimmer. It's just I want it to be more opaque because the fingers with the Smoosh art will be opaque. I just thought it would look better that way. Oops, I guess that my Peely base isn't quite dry. I'm getting a little bit of stringiness. So we'll give that another couple minutes. Okay, we've given it a bit more time to dry. Actually, I think I'll do my thumb last so that I don't end up smooshing it. Because those are the two my thumb and my pinky are the two fingers that are not going to get smooshed. Oops. So I'm going to put Fuel Your Desire on my middle finger, and then on my index and ring finger I'm going to put on Muchi. Oh, it looks like Lightning's little toes might make an appearance. Okay, so after that short interruption by Lightning, I am going to put Muchi on my index finger and my ring finger, and I'm going to put Fuel Your Desire on my middle finger. So one problem I ran into yesterday was that I think I let the base polish dry a little bit too much. I mean the base color dry a little too much, so they didn't mix as well. It worked out better when I had it just a little bit wet. So I'm gonna go one finger at a time. Okay, this is gonna be a little easier to work with. This is a very loved polish. Okay, I'm gonna let that first coat dry like normal, and then I'm going to put a second coat on and leave it fairly wet, and then put drops of Shaidyn and Fuel Your Desire over that. Okay, I decided to just put the first layer of base color on the other fingers, since they will need time to dry anyway. I'm just going to put some, so that was a bit bigger blob than I meant. There we go. Put some blobs on. Oops, that might be too much. We'll just see what happens when I smoosh it. So I'm just going to smoosh it with a stamper. I had used a makeup sponge and that just kind of took off too much polish. So I'm just going to kind of roll it around on there. Oops. I'm maybe still a little bit too wet for this. I think we might redo that one. Yeah, I think we're gonna redo that one. Okay, I'm just gonna clean up my stamper with tape. You can also use a lint roller, but never use polish remover, and especially never use acetone on the stampers. You know what, instead of removing it right away, I think I'll just move on to the next finger and see how it looks when it's a little bit more dried down, because maybe I could kind of fix it with another layer. And use my handy dandy cleanup pen. Okay, I'm starting out with the middle finger a little bit more dry, but I do still want the polishes to mix a bit. Okay, let's try again. And I might have been putting just like too much like downward pressure on it. Might have been why I was kind of picking up the polish. So now I'm just kind of dabbing it. Okay, I think I'm going to put a little bit more. So yesterday I used liquid latex around the nail, but I really didn't need too much more cleanup than I normally do, so this time I didn't. Yeah, I think I like that. There we go. And we'll let that partially dry. There we go. I think I'm going to add just a little bit to my index finger. Okay, I'm going to let that dry down, and then I'll do some cleanup and top coat it. Okay, so I put 2 coats of Shaidyn over my thumb. And the first top coat that I'm going to use is a smudge-free top coat. This one is a Maniology. Okay, I've given the smudge-free a little bit of time to dry. I usually top coat a second time with a quick dry. So right now I'm using the Vite. I decided to give it a try because a lot of people like it. I don't dislike it. I'm kind of neutral on it, except it has a really strong smell. So I probably won't be repurchasing it, and I just kind of want to use this one up. But it works fine, and it dries fairly quickly. And I will put some pictures up of the finished result in the sunlight so that you can see the color change. And here's the end result. I think that Shaidyn here has a very dramatic color shift. And here is the blue side. And I'm quite happy with both hands, and I think they're kind of a fun combination together. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.